Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my December project. Today we're going to do story 14. And story 14 is going to be about Christmas music. So I have this, which has Fa La La all over it, which is the back of this page, which we'll put the Instax photos in there. And then this is going to be another part of the page, this little decorative bit here. So when we get to this side, this and this will be the next story. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so I have pulled this out of the album. I thought, yeah, it's going to be much easier to get this page out of the album and actually work on it. I'm pulling out a couple of decorative bits. I don't end up using everything that I pull out. I thought I had a lot more space than I actually did. And that happens a lot to me when I am scrapbooking a 6x8 page. I like space and I like spreading things out and I like lots of stuff, and sometimes, just sometimes, it's a little bit hard for me to scrapbook on a 6x8 page. On this one, I basically take it from the top to the bottom to get this done. Now, I am looking through, trying to figure out if there's anything else I want to bring in and add. I've got these decorative bits. I thought I was finally going to use those gold and white ornaments. Spoiler alert, only one gets used. Which is funny because I loved the specialty paper that this comes from. It's the Deck the Hall specialty paper from Cocoa Vanilla. And I am not using it like I thought I would. I was like, yeah, this is going to be something. These ornaments are going all over my album. And they're not. They're not all over the album, which is fine, right? Like, it is fine that it is not all over the album. I am going to heat emboss the vellum. This vellum is not heat resistant vellum. It is taking the heat and it is warping. I'm not concerned about that though, because I don't care if it warps off of the backgrounds. I actually prefer it to do a little lumpy bumpy thing. I think that it is pretty cool. Now, the photo that I am scrapbooking is actually a screenshot of my Spotify, which is Christmas hits. And I do listen to this in the car on the way to work. I will say, you guys, I don't get a lot of music time in the car much these days. I live 4 minutes away from work, so I usually get a song in before I get there. But this is the Christmas station that I do listen to on my Spotify. So I took that screenshot, printed it off, and now I am creating this page all about the Christmas music. I'm going to put this on that background sheet, and as you can see, my ticket down to my tag goes all the way on the page. I also did double staple the tag just because I like the look of two staples. I think it is much more interesting than just one staple, and that might mean I'm a little bit extra or I'm a little bit much, but you know, more is more sometimes, you guys. And if that is just one extra little staple to give me a tiny bit of extra detail on there, I'm going for it. Do you guys have something like that that some people would be like, that makes no sense, or that doesn't really do anything for me? Why do you do that? Me, I like an extra staple. I think it adds a lot. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where the rest of these bits are going to go. I'm going to tuck in this label so I can have that little green and white striped. I thought I was going to layer this ornament over this large snowflake. Now remember, this is from the It's Snowing stencil. When you order the It's Snowing stencil, you get the snowflakes that come on the inside. I'm not guaranteed every single snowflake and every single little circular dot that's on that stencil, but you're getting a hunk of them. And then I decided it was not going to go there behind that bell ornament. And that was a little bit large for my purposes. So I overlapped this greenery laser cut and then glued on a little bow, and I love this. Like, this turned out awesome. I love the look of these things layered up together. Now I'm just trying to figure out the final bits and bobs and where things are going to go. My number is going to go on here. It is going to go up on that upper section, kind of where that ticket is. And then that is where I'm going to bring in a different one of those Mylar snowflakes made out of the Mylar stencil material and layer it up with a little bauble and put that down there. Now, I thought about colorizing it, I thought about embossing it, but on this side of the layout, I just decided to let it be this color. I didn't want the gold on there because it's overlapping the gold edge, and I definitely want that gold edge to be like this kind of crisp moment. But what I am going to do is emboss the Mylar for the decorations on this side of the page, this little filler that's just decorative, right? There's going to be no journaling on here. Now, I also am not really journaling about the music. I wrote down December music on the tab, and it says this is December. So really, I listen to Christmas music. I don't have really any big story to tell about it, so I'm not. And I think that that's okay, right? Like, I have epic storytelling in other parts of the album, and some things you just don't need. When I do my wrapping paper layout, which might be the next one, I don't need an epic story about the wrapping paper other than this is the wrapping paper, right? I don't have an epic story about it. So I do heat emboss these snowflakes on the right-hand side of the page. This larger one was much easier to heat emboss than the smaller ones. And the smaller ones are less than perfect, and I'm not worrying about it because they are stuck down to the page and it is finished, and I like the way it looks. I am going to overlap the baubles, the wishing bubbles and baubles on both of these. And I'm also going to overlap some greenery. So this large golden snowflake is going to have some greenery and then a bauble that says more joy. As you can see, I also layered up some little bits of paper behind there. And then there is going to be a little word that says joy to the world up there as well. Just because those two papers are definitely mini sized. And I just felt like it needed a tiny bit more decoration. So I'm using the kind of Christmas sweater pattern and also the fa la la pattern. And these are the tiny little squares off the front page of the collection kit where you get a little sneak peek of all of the patterns in the paper. So I go ahead and put those down, and now I am going to figure out my greenery situation for the upper left-hand corner because we got the greenery situation figured out in the lower right-hand corner. And this is where I'm going to struggle with the snowflakes here. To be fair, I was also on the phone with Christopher. We do talk on the phone almost every single day on his drive home from work. Most of the time I beat him home, which makes sense because most of the time I work way earlier than he does. So I struggled with this, and the embossing is not perfect. But you know what? I'm not stressing about it because this album is not perfect. I am completely in love with my album this year, but it is not perfect, and I think that's why I love it so much, right? Like, it's not so clean and precise and full of precision and no stray marks or no stray glue bits or no stray that or no stray embossing. Like, it just feels good, right? Like, it feels real, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I am going to use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to adhere these bad boys down. I do want to say, if you are going to try to heat emboss your Mylar, don't hold your heat gun over it too long. I don't know what the melting point of Mylar is, but I do use a laser to cut the Mylar, so it will melt. I just don't know what that temperature is. So if you're going to try this out, please be careful, buyer beware, scrapbooker beware, embosser beware. I don't know. I don't know what the correct term is. Now I am going to pop this bad boy over top of the page so that I can go ahead and hole punch the holes so that they can be on the page together. And then here we got a couple of close-ups for you so you can kind of see what that looks like. The back side of this page right here is completely naked, but like I said, that will be filled tomorrow. And I'm still thinking about the two back sides that I have to handle for story 9 and story 10. But let's be real, probably not going to put that there because I'm going to do my Christmas wrapping paper, so that's probably going to be story 15 tomorrow. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.